What is this thing we like to call wrestling? I
A
don't know,
love
but I don't
story.
know. But it's Monday. It's Raw. Doug's still not wearing red like I do. All that stuff of that though. The pitter patter. Let's just get at her. On today's show, Godzilla and Kong go at it on Raw. Mommy and Priest stand tall going into Berlin. And for some reason, there's still that Woods heel turn we were planning for. But first, we're going to start with Uncle Howdy. And before that, though, we're going to say hi to Doug. Doug, how are you doing again from Monday?
I'm good, bro. Welcome to Double Upload Tuesday.
Absolutely.
Hopefully, before this, you had gone and listened to our all-in review. Um, actually, that's the most prepared I've ever been for a show.
That's good. We should build on this. Those are good things to build on. It's called steps, baby steps.
Called preparation, but
Yeah,
sometimes I just like the way things flow freely.
it's true. I'll help though. Anyway, let's get on
Depending on
to it.
how high I get.
That's pretty good. Let's get on to stuff. Uncle Howdy made his debut today his in-ring debut, I should say, against Chad Gable of American Made. I mean, obviously, Uncle Howdy won. Wasn't surprised there.
Can I say something?
Sure.
I noticed it in the vignette
Yep.
that they played early in the show. Holy fuck, is he looking like Bray these days?
Yeah, he is.
It's almost like I understand they're related. I understand that they're brothers, but you could pass uh, Taylor Bow off as his goddamn twin at this point.
I don't, it is. I think it is too. I think it's when Bo Dallas was in the WWE originally, and then you had Bray Wyatt. Now, unless you knew behind the scenes that they were brothers, you never really would have thought it because they kind of dressed differently. Obviously, Bo was clean shaven when he first came in, right? Bray had a full beard and much different looking. You wouldn't really think it if you didn't know that if you looked into the background of them. And now that we obviously the late great, we'll call him late great Bray Wyatt, passed on a year ago, like a few days ago actually. Um, you're starting to see more and more resemblance that truly is those two that they are brothers. I think that's a lot really what it is. You're starting to see more of it now, not realizing it before because I don't think anybody paid attention really to the fact that it was Bo Dallas was his brother.
Well, so I akin that closely to for a long time they didn't. Pardon
They
me.
didn't mention it for a very
They
long
well,
time.
no, hold on. I take it in the same way as Cody and Goldust, right? Because we all knew, right?
Yeah, of course.
But we never really I mean, they didn't really acknowledge it until that one Royal Rumble,
Very true.
which was like years after Cody had started.
It's true.
And so you fast forward to like Bray and Taylor,
Yep.
or Bo, but even when he was in the B team and he had the beard going, you still didn't see really the um like the resemblance, but like now he's a spitting image of Bray.
Yeah, I think that's part of it. To bring your point back to Dustin and Cody, Dustin, I mean, granted, I find Dustin, obviously, there is a massive age difference between the two. I find though Dustin looks more like his father, whereas Cody looks more like his mother. Obviously, they're both different moms, same father. I find Cody looks a lot. If you look at Cody's mom, you've seen her a lot, especially in
Yep.
WWE. He looks a lot like his mom. And I know something about I know something about that because a lot of people who know my late mother have said I look a lot like my mother. In fact, it was brought to my
I
attention.
can I
Recently.
can attest to this.
Yeah.
But
So
yeah, the match itself was okay. I mean, we had a run in late in the match
yeah.
with Ivy Nile and the Creeds, and then Rowan came out and literally carried Ivy on his back while he was beating the shit out of Brutus.
Yeah.
Um, so I don't know. What do you think is the end game with Wyatt 6? Like, clearly Bo's not winning the WWE title. I don't
Well,
think he's at that
at least
level.
not yet. I don't know if they'll ever do that. Don't forget. Did you ever think about it this way? Did you ever think Ray would ever hold that title, especially
Yes,
as the Fiend?
100%.
As the Fiend?
Yes. I'll tell you why.
Okay, sure.
Because Bray had this
Laura.
aura, this charisma. And when you're having him up against the likes of John Cena and The Undertaker, um, and yes, he was losing all these major feuds, but then he also had the main event, a Mania with Randy Orton,
Yeah.
right?
It,
So like he was always in the top mix, which is why it was no shock to me that he won the WWE title.
okay.
And then when he repackaged as the Fiend, the character got so over so quickly, they had no choice, especially after whatever train wreck that Hell in a Cell match with Seth was.
Yeah.
They had no choice but to pivot and put the title on him in Saudi Arabia.
Yeah. Fair enough.
Because I don't think originally the Fiend was supposed to win that feud, but I don't think you had a choice.
That's a good point. It's a good point. I think, but to bring it back to Bo now, I think Bo would eventually maybe they if this picks up a lot of steam to the point where I can see him strapping the title on him. It depends on but the problem is though, especially on Raw right now, you have a juggernaut on Raw named Gunther, which would be very hard to have somebody take that title off him that is not named either Jey Uso or possibly Braun Breaker down the line, or maybe somebody else.
So when you say something like that, okay, with Gunther,
But Juggernaut,
well, no, with Gunther, I think this is one of the rare points in pro wrestling where characters matter.
yeah,
You're not going to put somebody as super serious as Gunther up against a character like a Uncle Howdy. That's just not going to mesh well.
no, you're gonna need a wrestler for this that one.
Exactly. So if Bo Dallas is eventually going to win a WWE title, it's going to be after this Wyatt Six stuff. Then he's going to be like, look, I've done pretty much everything else.
Yeah,
So now I'm going to go win one for him.
I can see him doing that because I think the Y6 does have shelf life. It's just a matter
Oh,
of
yeah.
how long the shelf life is.
Because now we have kind of a clear direction of why they're targeting people.
Yeah,
People that turn their backs on family.
yeah, and I made that point clear today in the promo that
Yeah.
that Bo Dallas did before the match earlier tonight.
So, Xavier Woods, you might want to think twice about turning on Kofi Kingston.
Very true. Before we get to that, though, let's talk about some beefy men. Godzilla and Kong was live tonight.
Big meaty men slapping meat.
Oh my god!
So,
Just a smack daddy of them all, hammer them
so
down.
believe it or not, because being dad and everything,
Yep.
I missed between like 9:30 and 10 o'clock.
Oh, so you missed the part where Bronson Reed decided to put Bron.
I happened to come back
Oh, you saw
downstairs at
that.
the exact point where uh, Braun Strowman decided to throw something at a Chrysler 300, which
Yep.
why? It's a nice car. And then they decided to crush this car, which was an amazing visual.
It shows how heavy Braun Strowman and Braun Reed are.
But the whole time they're fighting near those cars, I'm thinking to myself, I'm like, where is he going to tsunami him off of?
Yeah.
I'm like, he's looking for a place to jump off of,
Oh
and then
yeah.
and then he just used the concrete wall.
Yeah.
Awesome visual.
Yeah.
Um,
It was, that was like just a fun match of just seeing two guys go at it who could just smack the hell out of each other and throw each other around. And they threw a lot of people around. They moved to the back and they threw people just walking around. Like I said, Godzilla versus Kong. That's literally what it was. And obviously not to be a dick about it, but Strowman was Godzilla and Bronson Reed was Kong.
I'm glad we just find that.
I just wanted to make sure people know that's what I'm just saying. I'm not saying they're both one can't be the other. I'm just saying.
Am I crazy to think that Bronson Reed wins this tournament and he wins the Intercontinental title?
Well, speaking of the tournament, because we had a couple qualifying three-way matches today.
That doesn't answer my question.
Well, we'll get to it shortly. The Bronson Reed is in next week's tournament as well. In a three-man match against Sheamus and someone else. Can't remember off the top of my head. They showed it. I think he can win it.
Kaiser,
that's right.
I did the pose so you could try and.
I think he can do it. I'd like to see him do it. But right now, it's hard. He had Jey Uso win tonight in their match against
Okay,
Kofi
so that's
Kingston.
when I went. That's when I went upstairs. Was when Cross and Kingston came into the ring.
So against Cross, Kingston, and Jey Uso, and man, that guy's still over, right? And the Miz, Xavier Woods lost to Pete Dunne.
Yeah, you like you some Pete Dunne.
I love me some Pete Dunne. I can see next week's match being Bronson Reed winning, and then coming down to Jey Uso, Bronson Reed, and Pete Dunne. But I feel there's going to be some kind of shenanigans in that for Jey Uso to win. I think they want to have Jey Uso go for that IC title.
Well, I mean, so that's interesting because did you happen to read Rikishi's comments?
I did hear that. I kind of saw it too. How I think it's too out of left field. I think that's way too out of left field. I don't think Jey Uso's leaving anytime soon at all.
No, I don't think so either. But what I'm saying is, I think Pops needs to slow his roll because if he thinks there's no direction for Jey, he better come back in about 6 weeks' time.
Yeah.
When they start building Survivor Series.
Yeah, I think he's a little far fetched on that one there. I think it's a little. I understand he wants best for his son, and I get that. That's being a father. You're a father. You know that, right?
Okay, so for context purposes, for those that didn't see it, Rikishi did like a podcast or something or an interview, and someone asked him about Jey Uso, and he said that he thinks he told Jey like he should just step away for a while because it seems like there's no direction for him. Blah 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 blah. And it's like, man, he's clearly not watching the program because just like I tell I've said on the show a million times. Not everybody can be champion all at once.
It's true.
Right? Like, it's not doing anybody dirty by them not capitalizing on every single championship opportunity, especially if you're trying to tell a bigger story.
Yeah.
So that being said, it's like, I think Jay's a good, strong contender, but that's also a good way to, beef up Braun Breaker.
Yeah.
God, there's 3 Brauns going around, and like,
I think I think I think Braun Breaker's probably gonna facing Jey Uso. I think he's gonna build. I think Jey Uso's gonna build a good match, but I think they're not taking that title off Braun Breaker anytime
so
soon.
so out of okay, so you said Bronson Reed wins his match next week versus Sheamus and Kaiser.
Yes,
Who do you have in the other one, which is Dragunov, Dragon Lee, and Dirty Dom?
I don't think Dom. I don't. I have a same feeling that Dirty Dom's gonna win.
I could see it coming down to Jay and Dom,
Yeah,
like uh, Braun, Braun Strowman. See, the 3 Brauns are all fucking with my head.
fair enough.
Uh, Braun Strowman comes back and distracts Bronson Reed, or Truth comes back, or hell, even Seth Rollins. I don't fucking know.
I can see
But
Seth coming back to cost Bronson.
that's if he's ready to come back. But
Yeah,
um, yeah, I could see Pete Dunne just kind of being there to eat a pin.
I don't think that would be a great thing. I can see Pete Dunne getting involved with Sheamus's match and vice versa.
Yeah,
Because Sheamus is involved in that match next week, so I can see Bronson Reed winning that match
because of Pete Dunne.
because of Pete Dunne. Because of Pete Dunne getting into favor with Sheamus and Kaiser, and then Sheamus repaying the favor next week after.
Yeah, I mean, there's a bunch of different ways you can go with it because I could see a world where even Ludwig Kaiser wins that match.
It's a good point. Yeah, well, I was thought about that too. Kaiser could actually be the beneficiary of the fact of those 2 distractions.
Absolutely.
So
He's not going to roll up Bronson. Bronson Reed's not going to get pinned for a while.
no, it's going to be probably Sheamus, and Sheamus is not going to hurt Sheamus in the slightest.
Sheamus could lose every match for the rest of his career and he'll still be a big star.
Exactly. Speaking of Dom and Mommy and Priest, Judgment Day opened the show tonight, and they're all getting ready to gear up to beat up Mommy and Priest, which brought out the LWO.
Nice little 8-man.
Yeah, and Ray. I don't want to say this, but Ray's looking starting to look a little bit of his age.
So the hang time
Yeah,
that Joaquin Wilde gets. Wait, is that the one in the white? Was that Joaquin
yeah,
or was that Cruz?
that's Joaquin.
Okay. And Joaquin used to be Zima Ion, right?
I think so. Yeah,
In TNA.
yeah,
I know one of them, Cruz or Joaquin. One of
yeah.
them used to be Zima Ion
Mhm.
or DJZ. And the hang time that dude gets off the middle rope, like I had to rewind it and just to show Logan.
Yeah,
Uh, so fun little match. Liv causes a distraction. Judgment Day wins again.
and here comes Mommy, and here comes Priest, and they beat up the Judgment Day for the most part, stand tall, which leads me to believe that we talked about this last week on our Monday night. I think Dom and Liv are winning that match at Berlin.
I think you're right.
Yeah, which also makes sense too if Dom wins, gets the IC finals against Jey Uso or someone.
Yeah.
Which would make a lot of sense.
Yeah, but I think, well, think about it. Braun Breaker's only had one defense, right?
Yeah, he only has one defense. Yeah,
Which was that banger 2 out of 3 falls a couple weeks ago.
yeah.
But so I think it's still too early for Braun to lose this title.
Yeah. I don't think Braun's going to lose at all for next several months.
But honestly, I could see him losing it in December. Gear up for the Royal Rumble, and
And I
then
make
you can have him be a credible threat to win the Rumble.
well, that's what I said by several months. Possibility.
Yeah.
There's also a possibility. Click at that subscribe button down below there, folks, and that follow button on the side. Make sure you like, share, subscribe to everything on the show here. We love doing this content. It's a lot of fun for us to do. Right? Support your friends here. Small click for you, large click for us. We will be doing more content, even more content, more content, more content. It's all coming in more. But what I'm a little upset
I think we have like 5 shows on tap this week.
I think we do. And you know what's
All
also
in tonight. The Dynamite,
WWE Dynamite and
SmackDown, and Bash in Berlin.
Yeah.
That's if we don't leave Bash in Berlin for Monday's show. We'll see how it goes.
What's annoying me right now, though,
What's up?
is they have not pulled the trigger yet on this Xavier Woods turn. They're showing more and more hints of it.
I think the way he lost tonight is going to accelerate that.
Yeah, well, he dressed differently too than Kofi, which kind of threw Kofi off. Xavier did not seem very pleased with a lot of stuff. Like he didn't get tagged. He chose Aussie Jones over him. The way he lost tonight too. I mean, Kofi lost as well. So
they're putting the slow burn on this.
They are, and it's starting to get a little irritating.
By the way,
sure.
To weave back into this,
sure.
Kofi and Xavier stuff. When Drew McIntyre was coming out to the ring, did you happen to catch in the background Karrion Kross talking to The Miz?
No, I missed that.
Okay. I was trying to figure out who was talking to The Miz, and then I just checked Twitter, and they told me that it was Karrion Kross.
Right.
Did that come into play at all?
No.
Okay.
Nothing at all. Could be talking about coffee.
Could be.
Yeah, I'm looking for this to this.
Probably comparing hot wives.
Hopefully, yeah. Both blondes. Well, one's a former blonde right now. But yeah, I'm looking forward to this. Like when it's going to happen here. It's going to be big. I feel, and I think it's going to be massive.
I think. I mean, you take the emotion of that night where Roman announced he had leukemia.
Yep.
Out of it.
Mm-hmm.
This Woods turn is going to hit like Dean turning on Seth.
Oh yeah. Oh, so a shield breakup kind of thing. It's going to basically be like a shield break. You feel like it's going to be like a shield hit.
It's going to be out of nowhere. They're gonna probably get a shot at Judgment Day or something. They're gonna come up short, and Woods is gonna fucking lose it.
It's a possibility, because you know what? Like, I mean, nobody saw the shield turn happen.
Neither one of them.
No, nobody saw it coming at all. They didn't even sniff it. It wasn't even a sniff.
So, but anyways, I guess kind of last thing to cover.
Nope.
Well,
hold on. We have to get to our weekly CM Punk Drew McIntyre stuff.
I was gonna say that, and then it popped in my head that Damage Control picked up a win over Pure Fusion Collective.
I just call him PFC.
I might have to.
Yeah, because
this name's not clicking with me.
Yeah. Well, let's get to Drew and Punk. Because Drew's fantastic. Best troll there is right now.
Okay, so hold on. Okay. What I love about this is if you listen to SmackDown that I did solo this week, I mentioned that during the Grayson Waller effect, he was on Instagram Live.
Yep.
And Theory was posing and they were having fun.
Yep.
Apparently, right before Punk attacked McIntyre, He was on Instagram Live under the ring.
That's funny.
CM Punk is the ultimate hater, dude. But
Drew
the fact that he stood tall tonight questions if I think he's gonna win
questions it.
on Saturday.
Drew came out and literally talked a lot of trash. Everything's always about Punk and make it about him. How the success about WWE right now is because of him. Drew basically just sat there and said how he's going to basically kill CM Punk. Just like, I'm going to kill you. And Punk came out and beat him like a government mule for about 5 minutes.
And then beat up security, and according to Adam Pearce on Twitter, he was fined a undisclosed amount of money for attacking security.
Sense. Yeah, that makes sense. Let's get to your favorite topic of WWE nowadays, or so often, Randy Orton.
Oh, love me some Legend Killer.
So Randy comes out and he's finally acknowledged that he loves how everybody sings a song. Mentioned that it's been 15 years later, but
he's had the song for 15 years, yeah.
He mentions how he loves it. It took guys 15 years to do it, but he absolutely loves it.
And you know what? Okay, I'll let you finish in a sec, but
sure.
Let me go off for a sec.
Sure.
Not in a bad way.
No.
So here's the thing. I seen this sentiment on Twitter, and I actually love this take.
Yeah.
I am so happy for Randy Orton that everyone's giving him his flowers, as the kids say.
Yep.
Everyone's giving him his flowers, and he is actually here and healthy to relish in it. Like, as somebody who has been a fan of Randy Orton since like 2003,
yep,
like, this is so cool to see. And it almost, like, I know that he says he still has a few years left in the tank, which is fine. But it almost feels to me like, you know, in sports, how they have like those farewell tours for certain players.
Miguel Cabrera comes to mind.
Miguel Cabrera, Derek Jeter,
Albert Pujols.
Yeah, like, I mean, it's mostly a baseball thing, but they did it for Kobe. They did it for Kobe.
Gretzky did it for 1999.
Yeah, and so it almost feels like Orton's going to take us on like a 3-4 year farewell tour.
Yeah, well,
and,
I mean,
and you know what?
Come back next year, so
listen, if they don't have at least one more match, I'm gonna be pissed. As much as everyone hates how much they went back to that feud between the years of 2007 and 2015, as much as everybody hated how much they went back to it, those two always delivered.
It's true. And I know Randy has the utmost respect for John, and
vice versa.
And vice versa. Randy actually said in his with Cody Rhodes do thing on YouTube there.
I gotta go watch that.
What do you want to talk about? He talks about he puts John over so much and how he's so appreciative of John, how they're very good friends and they've gone over so much stuff. He lets John take the lead and goes and like. And John says the exact same thing about Randy.
So Randy, when he first came back, just after Survivor Series, he did an interview on The Bump.
Yeah.
With Caleb Braxton, and he said his dream match that he still has left in the tank is one-on-one with John Cena at WrestleMania with a title on the line. You know, so I doubt it's going to happen. I really do. But I mean, the 14-year-old in me is like screaming for this match to happen.
I don't see a title in it, but I see Randy versus John for sure. I don't
Oh
see a title
yeah.
involved. I don't see a title involved. I see a Randy versus John though, for sure. That I see at Mania.
Oh yeah.
But I liked where Randy went with this though. He talked about how he won his first title, the youngest champion ever. Then he talks about how he retired the old world title. He was the last one to wear that one because he unified. And he talks about how he sees
Oh
this one
yeah.
now and how he wants to win this one.
That's right.
So
Thank you for keeping us up, Mr. Orton.
Randy, I don't know if Randy's going to win. I don't think they were going to take the title off Gunther this fast just for Randy. But it'd be interesting to see what happens on that Berlin.
Well, actually, they could pull off a miracle. Look, I'm not anti Gunther, okay?
No.
But
We're both not anti Gunther at all. We're just Randy Orton.
but hear me out.
Yeah, here.
Because of how long and dominant he was Intercontinental Champion,
Yeah.
do something a la Randy Orton,
Mm-hmm.
okay?
Yeah.
You'll see where I'm getting at here.
Yeah.
Loses his first defense to Randy Orton,
Yeah.
but Gunther's going to come back and he's going to win a bunch more.
Well, that's the thing, though, too. The last title that Randy won during the pandemic era,
Was the
he
WWE Championship.
and he only held it for a month.
Yeah.
Not even. And he lost it
Well,
right back
actually,
in
that's
too.
not true because he was tag team champions with Riddle.
No, that with the WWE title. He lost that title.
You're talking singles title, yeah.
Single title, yeah. Because he lost a month later back to
Right,
Drew.
back to Drew.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I mean, you could theoretically do that.
Yeah, and that gives him 15,
Yep.
which gives him a chance to catch up to Cena
Yep.
for 16. And then remember that like ultimate dream match I thought about?
Yeah. Okay. I mean, I can see. I just don't see Gunther losing again after that.
Title versus career, both of them 16-time world champions. I don't know.
Yeah, but John's gonna have all 2025, so I think Randy's the last stop.
It's building. It's building.
I think
But
Randy. I don't think
as sorry, we were talking AEW earlier and what happened with Bryan Danielson.
Yep.
How it's, there's a possibility he could have just won the title and now he's done.
Yeah.
But there are times throughout wrestling history where you've seen that, mostly in the women's division.
Yep.
But why not have Cena go into the last pay-per-view of the year as the challenger, win the fucking title, and then just vacate it, and then have the winner of the Royal Rumble be the new WWE champion?
You could. I mean, you're right about that, though. We have seen it actually in recent past.
It's not like unprecedented.
No. Sting. I just to go off to a different company at AEW. There, Sting won the tag titles with Darby Allin, then retired.
Yeah.
Trish Stratus, her first retirement, she won the title. She won the world title. You watch that?
I was there.
Yeah, she won the women's title for that. Then retired.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not unheard of.
Yeah.
I mean, we always see what happens with AEW with Dynamite on Wednesday, but we might see that again on Wednesday, right?
Yeah, and so like the possibility. All I'm really saying, and I mean, we kind of got off track a little bit, but all I'm really saying is it's not out of the realm of impossible that Randy Orton wins Saturday afternoon.
No.
Do I think that they do it to Gunther in Berlin? Yes, actually I do, because it's WWE, and if you're in your hometown, yeah, good luck. You're looking up the lights.
Well, that's the thing to do. I this is kind of what I see. I think it's a good possibility Randy gets that title.
But it may cause a riot.
Well, I don't know if it happens I don't know if it happens at Berlin. I really don't. But I can tell you this though. I think Randy and Cena do meet at WrestleMania. But I think ultimately though, I think Randy is the end game for John Cena at the end of the year next 2025.
He has to be.
I think Randy is the end
But
game.
let's somehow get the title on Randy before that happens.
They could do it. You know,
Oh,
I
they
mean,
could definitely do it.
to be honest, you can have Gunther win here and then revisit Randy in say 6 months.
But here's the thing, Randy being a SmackDown guy, and the crossover isn't as much as it used to be.
Yeah,
Like they're trying really hard to keep it brand specific.
yeah.
And I mean, shit, we're
Was
what?
Randy ever actually drafted to SmackDown though, or was he considered a free agent?
He was a free agent and signed to SmackDown when he came
Oh, that's
back
right.
because he wanted to get to Randy Orton, or he wanted to get to Roman Reigns.
Oh, that's right.
So that's how Nick Aldis lured him over.
Oh, that's right.
Was,
That's right.
hey, if you sign with SmackDown, I'll give you Roman Reigns on a silver platter.
You go, well, that turned out.
Not very well, because Orton still has not faced Roman Reigns one-on-one.
No, he hasn't.
Nor
Forward,
will
yes.
he be, nor will he for the title.
No, at least not for foreseeable future.
But very quickly, this thought popped in my head
Sure.
while we were talking. When do you think we finally get a promo from Roman Reigns?
I'm gonna say probably the next.
Pre-Bad Blood?
Yeah, probably the next two weeks, maybe 2 weeks, 3 weeks.
Well, like I said, I think I discussed this with you, but they pulled him from advertising for the September 13th show.
Yeah, I think Roman right now is going to. There is the Alpha funeral obviously that's going to happen. If Sika
Yeah, that's
was
probably sometime this week.
if Sika, I think Sika's funeral is like a week and a half, 2 weeks later after he passed. I think Alpha's about the
Like I'm
same.
not here to figure out timelines. I'm just
No. I'm just
saying.
saying like it's probably going to be 3 to 4 weeks from now when he finally speaks.
Yeah, because all we've seen out of Roman Reigns is just him kicking everybody's ass.
And
He
just
hasn't
mouthing
said it.
stuff.
He has not uttered a single word.
And he still gets the reaction. The last
And when he finally hits that first acknowledge me, that place is gonna explode.
I remember the one time it was I think it was a Raw anniversary. McMahon was still there and Stone Cold came out. Didn't say a word. He just stunned all the McMahons that were there.
That was the Raw Homecoming
Yeah.
2005. I remember that.
Right? Never said no. This is one more recently because this is when I just came back from Vancouver. Didn't say a word. That's maybe just that much of an impact. I think it's going to be huge when Roman set 2 weeks. But I think it's going to be
25. That's the one you're thinking
That's
of.
probably yeah. I think that's going to happen in 3 to 4 weeks. But other than that, guys, Damage Scroll beat PFC. They gotta change that name, man.
That name sucks.
It really does stink. And they lost on top of that today. Mind you, the help of the returning Selena Vega. But still.
By the way, Zelina Vega does really cute TikToks with Alistair all the time.
Yeah,
or Malachi.
I've
whatever.
seen some of the stuff he does, and yeah, he just looks like a generally good dude. I actually wouldn't mind going to his taking one of his classes just for fun.
Good luck.
Why not? Just a lot of fun. Just one time.
Exactly.
Just one time. What's the worst gonna happen?
When in doubt, why not?
Yeah. Wow.
On that note, should I
Plus-
get us out of here?
Plus, I could talk about a lot of really cool music. Anyway, that was Raw. Doug, take us out of here because I need to go to bed.
Thank you all for listening. If you're watching here on YouTube, go find us on Spotify, Podbean, wherever you find your podcasts. You can even say, "Hey Alexa, play the newest episode of DA Wrestling," and it'll pop up. I've tried it. Go follow the
I
show.
don't have Alexa, so I couldn't tell you.
Go follow the show. Socials. YouTube, DA Wrestling Podcast. Instagram is DA Sports Podcast. X, Twitter is DA Sports Pod. He is Apricel1982 on Instagram. Andrew DA Sports on TikTok, not with a confused look on his face this time. I'm T-Lions1991 on Twitter, and we'll catch you down the road.